Hey, what's good, Game of Thrones fans? This is Campfire Crew, and today we're going to continue talking about the Season 7 plot leaks. As you know, last week we talked about the big story points. Today we're going to talk about the smaller story points. Again, we're not really saying we believe all this. As a matter of fact, I might be poking holes in some of these theories anyway. But it's Game of Thrones. It's interesting. It's the off-season. We're going to talk about it. So let's go ahead and jump right in. First, let's talk about some things that they say is going to happen up north. One is that Arya and Bran will find their way back to Winterfell. Littlefinger will continue to do Littlefinger things and plot, and also try to scheme and pit Arya and Sansa against one another. Bran will then step in and help Sansa realize that Littlefinger is doing Littlefinger things, and Sansa will get mad, sentence Littlefinger to death, and that Arya will carry out the sentence. Okay, let's talk about a few things here. One, Arya and Bran getting to Winterfell. I buy this, okay? I want to see this anyway. Arya's already in Westeros. You've got Bran kind of heading that direction, trying to get over the wall. He's got information to tell Jon. So I buy this. I want to see this. And I'm kind of excited to see the Stark family back together. That'd be kind of dope. As far as Littlefinger scheming, of course Littlefinger's going to scheme. That's what Littlefinger does. The motherfucker was born scheming, okay? Come out the womb scheming. I have no doubts that he's going to try to do something. Although I can't find it anywhere in the storyline that would make him want to put Arya and Sansa against one another. I don't see how that would be beneficial. I think his focus is going to be Sansa and Jon. Even if that were true, Sansa's not going to need the help of Bran to let her know that Littlefinger's up to no good. If there's anybody who don't trust Littlefinger, it's Sansa, right? She's got him pegged. I just don't feel like Bran's going to be the one like, yo, Sansa, he trying to play you for a fool again. As far as him being sentenced to death, why in the world would they have Arya carry out the execution? That doesn't make sense to me whatsoever. There's nothing in the storyline that's going to make me believe that. I mean, are they just going to buy that Arya's an assassin anyway? I just don't feel like she's going to knock on the door of Winterfell and be like, hey guys, by the way, I've been training to be an assassin. I kill people now. And even if that were the case, are they going to just buy it and believe it or what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I think Arya is more than capable of killing Littlefinger. There's no doubt in my mind. Whether she carries out a former execution or not, I'm not buying that at all. Plus, Jon would be the one that would have to pass that sentence because he is King of the North, by the way. And we all know how the Starks are trained. By Lord Neddard himself, who says, the man who passes the punishment should swing the sword. Or the man who passes the sentence should swing the sword.
The man who passes the sentence should swing the sword.
Anyway, we all know that if Jon carries this out, it's going to be him who's cutting heads off. Plain and simple. Okay, more news of the North, and that is that Sam will also find his way back to Winterfell, and that with the help of Bran, they will discover Jon's true parentage, and also discover that his birth was legitimized, and that his name is actually Aegon. It's no secret that Bran knows who Jon's parents are. I do feel like Jon is going to find out who his parents are this season. And since Bran's the one that knows, Bran's going to be involved with that. So he's going to facilitate it some kind of way. He's going to come right out and say it. I do buy that. Sam getting to Winterfell, I know he's at the Citadel for a reason, and I just don't think he's going to leak what he's doing to go and tell Jon who his parents are. Whether he discovers that in his research is possible. I don't know. But I feel like it would be like him making a note like, oh, Jon's parents is talking. Oh, that's interesting. Let me make a note, put that to the side, and now back to the problem at hand. Let's find out about these White Walkers, right? I do believe that he's there for a reason. We do have a theory about what he's going to discover there. And Jon's parents is not the priority. That's my thought anyway. I am curious how you think about Aegon. What do you think about Jon's name being? I would love to know in the comment section below how you feel about them changing Jon's name to Aegon. I never really given this much thought. But then I was like, played this made up scenario in my head, which it would not happen, but hear me out. Jon goes to King's Landing, or he's going to meet some of these people who may have been putting him down his whole life. Maybe not necessarily Cersei, although that would be kind of satisfying. And they're just kind of like, oh, it's just Jon Snow, the bastard. And he's like, let's say he's meeting Daenerys, and he's just like, nah, I'm your nephew, Aegon Targaryen, rightful heir to Westeros. By the way, I can ride dragons. Yo, come back. In come the dragon, he gets on it. Like, that would be dope. I know it's not going to happen that way, but, Jon's been beat up his whole life. So for him to be able to come in with a sense of authority, like, I'm the true king. I'm a Targaryen. I'm Aegon Targaryen. I don't know. I wouldn't be opposed to the name change. I'd like to know what you think. Okay, some other things to mention here in this plot leak, and that is Jorah will go to Old Town and with the help of Sam, discover the cure for grayscale. Also, Cersei will find out that she's pregnant by Jaime, but will have a miscarriage by the end of the season. Also, the Lannisters will sack Highgarden, and I guess get Lady Olenna cornered, but before she goes, she, tells of her conspiracy with Littlefinger that she's really the one who killed Joffrey, and then poison herself and go out that way. Oh yeah, and let's add that Gendry will find his way back to the Brotherhood without banners. Jorah, we know he's on the search for the cure, and him going to Old Town with the stuff that they got set up in the story already, that's plausible, right? Give us a little bit more of Old Town and having Jorah there, meeting up with Sam, building some, characters there, whatever. I could buy that. And by George, Sam, hey, nobody been in the Citadel before? I mean, Sam just walk in, Sam figuring everything out. He's like, oh, Jon's parents got that. Grayscale, I got you, bro. I read that yesterday, okay? I also found out everything there is to know about White Walkers. We're good. I got you. We're covered, right? Sam he a beast. He doing everything this season. I don't know. Again, there's so much that we have to cover this season, and there's so much that Sam really needs to find out. The cure for grayscale, I just don't think is high on that list either. Okay, Cersei being pregnant. I don't know. That's not far-fetched. I guess that's possible. They could enter this into the story without dedicating a whole episode to it, or without diverting the story or slowing us down whatsoever. It could just be a simple mention, hey, I'm pregnant, and then it's kind of this underlooming thing that just kind of gets mentioned throughout the season, and then the baby dies. Whatever. Maybe. I don't think it's that pertinent. I don't really care, to be honest. Okay, them sacking Highgarden. There is going to be a war coming up, so the Lannisters sacking Highgarden. It wouldn't shock me, it wouldn't surprise me if that happened. As far as Lady Olenna, that's kind of like evil movie villain type, right? Like, I killed your son, haha, I killed myself. Look, Lady Olenna, man, she's a tough old bird. And I just don't think she would give them the satisfaction or really go out like that. But who knows, man? I've been wrong before. I'd like to know what y'all think about that whole situation right there. And as far as Gendry finding his way back to the Brotherhood, I'm going to need some explanation. Like, what's his motivation for going back to the Brotherhood? What's the deal here? I feel like that might drag the story down a little bit. Like, he needs to run into some other people. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, what's he going to do? Well, the Brotherhood going to be like, bro, where you been? Where you been at, man? Gendry's like, oh man, just rowing. Just out there getting my row on. Okay, the last detail we're going to talk about directly ties into one of the major plot points, if you believe any of that to be true, and that is that Cersei and Dany will have a parlay. At this parlay will be all the major players, I guess, in Westeros, and Jon will then present a white that he has spent so much time capturing above the wall that he brings back to King's Landing as proof to say, hey, listen, the White Walkers are coming. We need to quit this fighting and go fight them. Cersei will agree to this initially, but then later on decides that she's not going to help out, tells Jaime that she thinks it's a good idea, a good way to get all of her people killed. Not her people, but all of her enemies killed so that I guess she can continue ruling. Jaime gets disgusted, leaves, goes up north. I'm not a fan of this at all. Like, I don't want to see a parlay. I'll just be honest with you. Like, Dany is coming to Westeros for one reason, and that is to take over the throne. I don't see, like, there's a situation with the army that she's amassed, that she's sitting there like, look, Cersei, let's parlay. You're just so strong. Keep the throne. What's going on? I'm not buying that at all. On top of that, she is being advised by Tyrion and Varys. If there's anybody who knows Cersei and what she's capable of, it's going to be those two. They're pretty smart advisors. They're going to be like, Dany, don't trust her. Let's kill her. We can just take over King's Landing and her army. We don't even need her. So I'm not really buying that. I don't know how I feel about Jon spending a whole season trying to capture a white, although there could be some really cool stuff with that. But anyway, that's all contingent on the fact that if you believe this leak in the first place and any of the major plot points, let me know what y'all think. This was interesting, man. Again, it is the off season, and talking about theoretical plot leaks, fan fiction, it doesn't matter, people. Let's have a discussion. There was a lot of information in this video, in the last video. I would love to know what your thoughts are. Do you think any of this is true? And I am curious, man. How do you feel about Jon having his name changed to Aegon? Look, guys, like this video if you like the video. Share it out there. We're trying to grow. Help us out here. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And until next time, guys, we're out.